there, I'm Michelle from Crafters Countdown, and also you know me as Jessica Kringle online and Jaffer by Jessica. I wanted to share a little bit of my experience with my wig and my hair care today because I've seen a lot of questions on the Mrs. Claus forums, and people are asking about wig care and hair care for Mrs. Claus. So I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I've learned in my journey as trying to figure out what to do with my hair as Mrs. Claus. I want to let you know that I am not an esthetician. I did not go to beauty school. I'm just sharing with you what I have learned both through my research and my trial and error, okay? So first of all, I have my wig. Now, I went to a wig shop and bought this, and I had researched, and yes, they do come in different sizes. And while my head may not be super big, I certainly have, or used to have, I'll tell you that story later, a lot of hair. And so this one is a little bit tight for me, but it was also the only silvery gray haired wig that they had, so I went ahead and bought it. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, you can't curl in synthetic hair wig. This one is synthetic. It's not real hair. And I curl it all the time. So I wanted to show you, this is pretty much what it looks like. Just washed and dried, and no curlers in it. However, you can see that I've placed some curlers in here. Let me show you what, and it's been in here for actually a couple of days. The longer I can leave them in, the better. Of course, during the season, when you wear these things often, then can't really always get them perfectly curled in between. But I mean, that's holding a great curl. So another thing that while I take these out, I'll tell you is there's a lot of discussion about whether or not you can wash your synthetic hair, specifically wig. Of course, you can wash the real hair wigs. Absolutely, you can wash these. I've washed this a couple of times. The things that you need to keep in mind are that, first of all, shampoo is meant to take the oils out of your hair. That's what it's there for. And then hopefully not, destroy your hair or dry the ends of your hair out in the process. So a lot of the people who sell the specific wig shampoos will say, oh my goodness, never use a regular shampoo because you'll just strip your wig and all of the moisture out of it. One of the worst for that, they're saying, is baby shampoos. I use a very good quality shampoo. I use Jaffa shampoo. For me, doesn't make my own hair feel yucky. And I've used store brand shampoos, and yes, there's a different feel to when you come out of the shower between those and when you use a salon quality shampoo. And so if you're using a really nice shampoo, then go ahead and wash your wig with that. If you're not using a really nice shampoo, then you might want to either invest in really good shampoo or go ahead and purchase some of that wig shampoo that they talk about. I also put some conditioner in it just to kind of keep it supple here and make it not feel so frizzy when I'm looking at it. And it puts a little bit of the shine back into it because some of the shine and luster did come out when I washed it. So you don't want to lather it up really good. You want to basically, some will say to soak it. If you look online, some will say absolutely don't soak it. I just let the water run over it very carefully in one direction, rubbed the shampoo through it, making sure that I didn't create any knots while I did, and then rinsed it off all in the same direction, all using lukewarm water, so that it didn't cause any heat damage to it as well. You can see this is coming along. Now, another thing to keep in mind with your wig is that you don't want to use a regular hairbrush in it. They sell specific wig brushes. I'll show you mine in a second. And it really does make a difference. So now you can see that I've removed all of my curlers in my little Mrs. Claus wig. Oops. And this is a wig comb brush. They sell these specifically in the wig shops, and it's got very large, the tines are very far apart from each other, and you can just very gently use this to comb through and loosen up or separate your curls. It's got a great end on it also, so that, if you did want to try to separate so that those curls weren't all one big loop, but a couple of separate curls. You've got an end to do that as well. This wig has a lot of black hair in it and mixed in with the silver and the white. It's a very multicolored wig, so it was kind of interesting. Again, wasn't in love with it, but it was the only thing that they had, so it was what I purchased because I didn't have time to wait or order one. I'm not one to order things online. I want to touch it, feel it, see it. And it's funny, this one had kind of a spiky, crazy dew to it until I washed it. As soon as I washed it, my son goes, "Oh, that is so much better," because it kind of tamed down that spikiness to it. So just kind of combing these curls, I put my finger here and comb around it, and then again to separate them so that there's not one big tube, but separate curls because of how I put the curlers in there. And there you go. Making Mrs. Claus look beautiful. Now, a lot of people don't wear wigs, and that is perfectly fine. A lot of you are blessed with already having earned your silver hair, and I'm just not quite there yet. Guess I need a couple more years to get this salt and pepper looking this wonderful for my Mrs. Claus. But, and a lot of people choose to just go with their natural hair color as it is, whatever color that it is, or whatever color that they choose to wear it regularly, even if they dye it. And that is all okay too. I'm just sharing with you what, for those of us who choose to have a wig for our Mrs. Claus, just sharing with you what I have learned from there. Now, I don't put any kind of product in here as far as, gels or hairsprays or anything. You can, as far as what I have read. I also don't worry. It's kind of like a weird matted thing on the top of this wig, again, because it had like this spiky thing to it. But since most of us wear either a headband or a mod cap or something up there, I don't worry about building the height up right there as long as it's good in front. And if you've seen my character, I do choose to wear the mod cap because most of my character, what she does is in the kitchen and doing crafting and that kind of thing. And so that's the look that works for me. There's with the curling. Now, about getting this thing on, and then I've also heard some other people ask a lot of great questions about what do we do with these dark hairs that stick out. So wanted to share with you what I have learned and what I use for taking care of that. Now, I did find in just one of the department stores some silver, dark silver and light silver bobby pins here. And so the first thing that I do is take a couple of bobby pins and just pin up my hair, what is there of it. I've never bobby pinned my wig onto my head. I don't know, I guess I don't need to, maybe because it's so tight for me. Also because I'm not dancing or anything in it. So that is just not something that I have felt the need to do. But if I did feel like I needed to do it, at least I would have bobby pins in the correct color. And no, this is not gorgeous. It's just to get it back out of the way. And I do wear a wig cap. I'll go over that in just a second. So give me just a second to get these pinned up. Sort of pull them back so that they're already out of the way when I go to put the wig cap on. There we go. Gorgeous, right? Okay, so I've also seen a lot of questions about wig caps. Again, these are just what happens to be in the store that I happen to purchase this wig in Denver, Colorado. So they come in different colors. I found a silver one, which they didn't have the first time. I've been using a more cream colored one underneath there. This one is an antibacterial. Dream USA is the name of the wig cap company, despite the fact that it's made in Korea. So, but now I have a funky shaped head. Back in the 80s, it was so popular to wear some headbands of some sort. I'm not able to wear those kind of headbands. They don't stay on my head. For some reason on the back there, everything just slides right off of it. So I was really surprised when I heard people say that their wig caps didn't stay on, because this actually stays on my head. Really strange. So just like those little headbands, this has some elastic in it. And so what I do is pull it on over my head, more than I need it, farther than I need it, and then line up, trying to tuck under what I have there, and then going ahead and giving this a little pull, and then lining that up with my hairline as much as possible. Now, you can see that I still have quite a bit of my dark auburn salt and pepper hair peeking out, and those will show up if I don't do something about it. Now, I've heard people say that they were buying those Halloween sprays. I can't even imagine. Those things are like a big mess everywhere. What I think is the absolute best product is this Ben Nye. It's called Snow White Hair Color, and it comes in big jugs, but this is the little one. This has lasted me 2 years so far, and it's still not empty. It's a little thingy inside, and you shake it. It comes with this little brush inside of it, and the little brush is very soft and mushy, so I didn't find it to be overly helpful, other than a little bit of application. So what I do is I paint my hair with their little brush to just apply some on there and get the product on there. And then I have a very stiff brush from the cheap paintbrush area of the craft stores, and I sort of mush it in with that one to get it deeper into my hair. And then I also use this on my eyebrows because it's the best thing to whiten those. I know that I was trying to use an eyebrow pencil. I'm looking over here because I have a mirror behind the camera, sorry. I have an eyebrow pencil that I was using that was not getting my dark eyebrows white, and I can just put a little bit of this on my eyebrows, and that works fantastic also. All right. And, I may need to put another coat on here if I'm going out for real as Mrs. Claus. I'm not right now. I'm just doing this for you. So I'm going to go with just my one coat for now, save some of the product and some time. But, yeah, I would definitely put more on this side. Didn't get quite as white as this side. Now you want to let this dry so that you're not making a mess on your wig. So that's rather important. So why don't you give me just a minute? I will let my Ben Nye hair white dry and get back with you and show you how to get that wig put on. Now, to get my wig on, I just take it off the head. And then I start in the front, especially since this is here, and set that there, and then hold it while I pull it down and around in the back and on the sides. And then pulling it down. I stick my thumbs underneath. The wig has a band on it. And that's another reason that you don't need the stripping shampoos, apparently, is that even with it touching, it normally doesn't touch your head, and so the oils from your head don't really get on the wig. It's just a matter of, environmental things, dust and dirt. Hopefully you're not in a place where there's smokes and pets and that kind of things. All right. And again, as I mentioned, they do come in different sizes. I do believe I got this one a little bit small for me, so one of my next purchases when I'm ready to save for that is another wig that's a little bit larger and maybe not quite so much black. Again, if you look close, and I can show you a close-up here, you can see that there are all different colors in there, maybe, if the camera's giving you a good enough view. And then, of course, doing the eyebrows makes a huge difference. I would love to know if you would like to see some makeup, tutorials. I know I taught a makeup class at the ISC on North Pole Education. There's also a Santa makeup tutorial. Wanted to try to get one ready for Mrs. Claus too. So if you'd like to see that, let me know. You can post in the comments below. And of course, subscribing helps. And then to finish off your look, you can either add your head wreath, that's what you wear. And I know that there are different kinds. There are the kinds that go around your head and the kinds that go on your head. And then the ever so popular, right? This is my Mrs. Claus look because she's a kitchen Claus and she loves to do crafting and counting down to the holidays. So this is the look that I went for my Mrs. Claus. And there you go. There's what I have learned and what I do for my wig. If you have any additional comments, because I don't know everything, and again, I'm not an esthetician, so if you have any tips, go ahead and put them in those comments below so that other people can get that information as well. And I hope to see you at the next convention, okay? Thanks. Bye.